Okay, so the next thing we want to talk about is where can I gather information for my research paper? I have my initial inquiry questions. Now, what am I going to do? Okay, so one of the good sources for research is Google Scholar. And this really focuses on educational type of research and information more than just general topics. Another is YouTube EDU. It's a subset of YouTube that has a lot of learning and education and study videos. In addition to those two, we can also use magazines, journal articles, don't forget books, newspapers, film, maybe surveys, or interview a person who is an authority in the field. That's also good quotable material. So there are many, many different avenues of approach to gathering your research. Don't just go to Google and type in your topic. Try to find some other sources. Okay, that's it. Okay, so what we want to do is, if you can, print out the materials that you have gotten from the internet. If you print it out, it just makes it a lot easier to highlight. And again, this goes right back to our summary writing, where we took our reading and we found the most important information, we highlighted it, we did some annotating. Of course, the annotating is just a good reminder to yourself as to why you chose that material. So we want to reread our information again, looking for important facts that we can use to quote within our research paper. And make some sideline notes, some annotating notes to yourself. Whatever it is, it's going to help remind you as to why you thought it was interesting or how you might integrate that into your research paper. So again, it's just a redo of our summary exercises that we prepared for the eye exam. So the same strategies we can use here in rereading our source material. Okay, so the next thing we want to start thinking about is we've gathered our information and we want to reread it again. And we want to find some really important, strong facts within the text that you are going to copy and add to your research paper. Now, these could be short sentences. Try to keep it less than, say, 5 sentences. And you want to state the author's name. Take the copied material from the text and put it in quotations. This tells the reader that this information comes from some other source. This is not your own words, it's somebody else's words. And you have to give credit to the author and to the source from where you got that information from. Now, the reason that we want to add these strong facts or information from other sources is it makes your research paper stronger to show that you can connect your idea with someone else's research. So these are called in-text citations, and there is an example on the right. Take a look at it. It's in quotes. And then at the very end of the quote, is some reference to where the material came from. This is going to become important later when we create our bibliography at the end of the research paper, which shows the list of sources that we have used in our paper. Okay, so on this slide here, I've written a paragraph, or the beginning of a paragraph, where I have quoted some facts that I found. Actually, it was a YouTube video of the author giving a talk on his book called Granite Kiss. So I found some very interesting facts and statistics that I didn't really know about before, but I thought they were interesting enough to add to my research paper. So as you can see in the yellow text, these are the exact words that the author used in his audio presentation of his book. So I have to put that copied material in quotes. Again, this tells the reader that this is not my words, this is someone else's words, and someone who is an authority in the field. So this makes my research paper even stronger. At the end of the quoted material, in brackets, you want to give some reference as to where this information came from. And as this came from a talk about his book called Granite Kiss, this will refer back to our bibliography. In this way, if the reader finds these information interesting or wants to further research it, they know where to go to get that information. Okay, so this is just an example of quoted material with a reference to where this material came from. Okay, so next we want to talk about the bibliography and the title. So first, your last page of your research paper is your bibliography. And that is a list of all of your sources in alphabetical order. And there are very strict format to use for that. And we're going to get into that in the next few slides of how to do that properly. But basically, it lists by the author's last name in alphabetical order and or the title of your article if there is no author, where you got your information from. And again, this is so that your reader who wants to do further research can go find the sources that you found your information in. That's the last page. Okay, now the last thing you want to do is to write your title. And the title should be between 5 but no more than 15 words. And it's really a summary, a completed summary, broken down into just a few words. If you know how to use a colon, using a colon in your title is always extra points. Okay, so the very last thing you want to do is write your title. Okay, so from the video you just watched, that shows you the longhand way to do it. So now I'm going to show you some easier ways for you to get that bibliography citations. Sometimes through the Google Scholar, the materials that you get may have a citation already done for you. It's called a suggested or recommended citation. You usually find that at the bottom of the article. So this is one of the articles that I used, that I was able to find on the Google Scholar. And of course, can't show you the whole page. So this is the source material, top of the page. And basically it's an abstract. We talked about abstracts. And it does allow you to download the entire article for free. So just below the abstract, we will find on the next slide where you can find the recommended bibliography citation. Okay, so as you can see at the bottom of the article is a recommended citation. It's circled in red. So all you really have to do is copy and paste this into your bibliography. Now, just make sure that you put it in the right alphabetical order. Okay, so we need to talk about the different kinds of formatting that we use in the research paper. And there are two basic style formats. One is called MLA and the other is called APA. And we're going to be using MLA. And MLA is basically for the arts, humanities, education. And the APA format is for the sciences. So we're going to be using the MLA style. I'm going to take a quick read about that on the picture on this slide. Okay, so first, there are several web pages on the internet that will allow you to create a citation just by sometimes as easy as just putting in the website and it will do everything for you. Sometimes you have to add a few features to it to create it. But one of the better ones that I like to use is called Citation Machine. So if you just click on the URL, it should bring you up to the page that's on this slide. Okay, so the first thing we want to click on is the MLA style format. And we're going to do a website. So click on that. Then you want to click on autofill mode. So what that will do is to try to call up that URL website, and from that input the information for you automatically. So you want to click on autofill, and then in the text box below you want to input the website URL, and then finally you can hit the search for the website button. Okay, so on this slide here, basically you just want to input the URL website into the text box, and then just click on the search website, and hopefully they'll be able to find all the information you need, and you won't have to input any other information. Okay, so after you've done that, on the next page that will come up, it should give you the journal or the article that you have sourced. And if it looks correct to you, just hit select. Sometimes they may give you several other options, so just make sure that it is the one that connects to your source. Okay, so on this page you'll see this is what they have found. And if everything looks correct to you, you can just click on Final Step. Okay, on this page here, you'll see several text boxes with information that's already put in for you. Now, if there's any blank areas, if there's something you want to add or you've been able to find other information that they couldn't, feel free to add that information in. Once you're satisfied with that, just click on Create Citation. Okay, so what happens with the citation machine is if you have more than one source, you can continue to search for another citation, and it will provide you with the list in the proper alphabetical order for you once you've finished searching all of your citations. So on this page here, this is my bibliography of the research that I did. I found all of these on Citation Machine, with the exception of one that was that journal article that I showed you earlier that had the recommended citation. So that was just a cut and paste. And it basically does most of the work for you. So this is actually the best way to do it, I think, is a single space with a double space in between each citation. It looks cleaner and clearer. Some professors may want you to do double space between everything. I think it just takes up way too much room. If you look at a book for the bibliography, you're going to find it in this single space with a double space in between each citation format. It's just much quicker, easier to read. It looks cleaner. Okay, now, as you can see, the web pages or the YouTube videos that I used as my reference source are all easily clickable so that anyone doing research on the same topic, very easy for them to go to the sources that I used in my research paper. Okay, so the very last thing we want to do is to create the title of our research paper. And it really defines your study. You want it to be about 5 to 15 words in length. And you really want to capture the reader's attention. It's a kind of hook to get the reader to want to read your research paper. So you have to really think about it and be creative and come up with an interesting title for your research paper.